is a publishing company, an education consultation firm that was started by a team of educators for the purpose of producing literature and curricula that is both academically enriching and socially progressive. So Urban Parables' approach is taken from Jesus' teaching methods. He had a way of taking very complex and lofty concepts and breaking them down in a way that the common person could understand. But he didn't stop there. He would then ask his audience to do something social. Move. All right, now that you understand what I'm teaching, go do something about it. So that is exactly the goal that this company is about. That's exactly the goal of UP. It takes this method and delivers it to an urban audience, thus the name Urban Parables. Focusing specifically on language arts, products, and instruction. And the company answers that question by combining quality instructional materials with socially and culturally responsive delivery. Questions that all educational reformers are pretty much asking right now is how do we take what we consider traditionally marginalized students and engage those students in the academic process? How do we make them care? How do we improve their skills? So, this particular program, called the OPD Movement, is a partnership between a not-for-profit subsidiary, she was talking about, and a for-profit, and it's titled, the program is titled after the novel and the teaching resources.
We designed something called the OPD Movement Incorporated. We are a nonprofit, and we desire to start groups in schools and communities and churches all over. And in these schools and communities, what they do is they go through something called our social curriculum. We desire to be a vehicle for social change in inner cities. How we desire to do that, we want to infiltrate the schools by linking the community in the school, linking academics to social realities that our students deal with every day. The days of teaching things in the classrooms that are not connected to the social, they're gone. That's not effective education. And ultimately we desire to, again, produce intrinsically motivated young people that impact their families, impact their communities, and impact the world. Ultimate goal, once again, is to develop intrinsically motivated, high-achieving, socially conscious students. OPD, you'll keep hearing that, is more like the symbol or the mantra that represents these executive functioning skills that are developed in the process of going through this program.
I'm representing Urban Parables, okay?
And I am OPD.
Okay? So she's representing OPD Movement Inc., which is the nonprofit aspect. I'm representing Urban Parables. So what happens is, the for-profit goes into schools and says, hey, we have this program that impacts students' lives. We want you to invest in it. We want you to buy these materials so that you can have an impact on students. And my goal as Urban Parables, as the academic portion, is to take the student in the classroom, give teachers the resources to educate Tatiana, right? So as a teacher, I'm going to go in, I'm going to give my students this novel, we're going to read this novel, I'm going to go through this teacher's manual with lessons that are aligned to Common Core, that teach vocabulary and grammar, and I'm going to build Tatiana's skills. So I'm going to pour some things in her mind, some grammar, some vocabulary, some analytical thinking, okay? That's what we call Tier 1 of the program. So a school can engage in, and these are divided into packages. So a school can say, I like Tier 1. I'm really interested in just making my kids, giving them something they're interested in that's going to build their academic skills. So you could stop there, but that's not holistic. So a school can go a step further. So after I've given Tatiana the knowledge and the wisdom that she needs and the analytical skills, I'm going to take Tatiana over to the social aspect.
Tatiana, you're just the kind of student that I need in my student group. I started this student group called the OPD student group after school, and because I just see you're a thinker, the way you process and you look at the world, we can use that. So we take Tatiana and she joins the OPD student group. And in this group, like we talked about, she's analyzing these different societal ills. She's thinking about how she can play a part, how she can change it, what she can do, because she's thinking differently, so now she's acting differently, right? So now she goes from thinking differently, right? And that's Tier 2. She joins this OPD student group. She goes through the curriculum, right? She's in this group and she's loving it, she's passionate. Tier 3 says, okay, you really love it, so let's apply these principles to your life. What are you gonna do? Right, she creates, this group creates an OPD project. And this OPD project, once they do it, they impact the community, they address social ills. What we desire to do as Tier 4 is, now that they are different, they think differently in the classroom, right? They think differently when it comes to society, their families, the different issues that they're being faced with. And now we're gonna say, because you're different and you're growing, it's time to expose you. So the last component of our program, Tier 4, is exposure. We desire to take inner city students out of this country annually.